How far can we go? How much deeper can we take this? So, I've got an interest in the metatextual narrative. I like to get meta with the stuff I do, or the stuff I consume. I like to see a little bit of meta. Um so we're going to go a step further. I realize that this would kind of constitute as like an analysis video of an analysis video of my analysis videos. Um we're getting real self-indulgent here. But I've been going through some of my older videos, and basically after Kraftsdorf made the critique of Super Eye Patch Wolf and challenged people to do better, and really in that video he posed the idea of like going back and adding like addendums to old videos, because he made a good point that videos that, when you make a video, if you don't take it down, then regardless of how you feel, of how your opinions change on that video after the fact, and even like if I make a follow-up video like I have done in the past, that original video with any potential misinformation or misrepresentation, it stays on the platform. So I've been going back and I've been pinning comments, just sort of reflecting on the videos I've made. I've been doing it kind of slowly because my mind is a cluster, and getting things in order, doing things, going through all the processes that I want to go through, whether that's making videos or doing these, it gets all jumbled around. So I've been doing it slowly over time. I started doing them like months ago, and then I didn't get back to it for a while, and I've been doing a little bit today. But I was going back through videos that obviously I had talked about before in Let's Talk About Me, the very first one. Those original videos in particular. But as I've been going back through them, I have been thinking about how I have talked about them before, and how some of the points I was thinking of on this like rewatch I had mentioned before in Let's Talk About Me, and some of them that I hadn't. And that got me to reflect on the Let's Talk About Me video making process. And this is something I had thought about a little bit before and just hadn't put the thought together in my head. But those videos, they're already kind of rambly, as I tend to be, but they don't really get as analytical as perhaps they could be. Like, they're more of just general kind of reviews on my the videos I'd made, like my general thoughts on them. Occasionally there are some like analytical nuggets, like, oh, here could have been an interesting point, but if I had phrased it differently, like in this way or whatever. But that's not really the majority of what those videos are. It's just kind of, here's my opinion on them. I might bring up a couple of ideas I can think of off the top of my head, but I wouldn't go back and like rewatch the old videos for that video. I would just kind of shoot from the hip. I would just take whatever's on my mind and I would say that. And that doesn't really provide the most well-informed review of the content. So as I've been going back and posting these pinned comments, I'm almost wondering, should I do like another version of Let's Talk About Me? Like, would it be beneficial to go back and go through the videos again, but this time like properly compile all the points that I have been slowly collecting in my head? And of course, like when I first made the original one in 2017, 2 years have passed. My stances on the videos I discussed in Let's Talk About Me have changed. In some ways, I've become more critical. I've become harsher than I was in that original video. In some ways, I've actually found different things to appreciate that maybe I hadn't at the time. But like I said, that would involve retreading old ground, and I don't know if I want to make the same video again. So I don't really know. So what I'm basically thinking is, when I make Let's Talk About Me again 2, or whatever I end up calling it, the third version, I'm actually going to go back and like take some notes and not script it per se. It's still going to be off the cuff, but I'll have at least like a few specific points jotted down. Because for the most part, when I go back and I do my pinned comments of addendums to the videos, it's just kind of like, here's my general overview and a couple of specific nitpicks I had. Nothing really gets too complex in that regard. So I don't know if it would even pad out the videos any more than they already tend to be. If anything, it might actually condense them, because I'll have a better idea of what I want to say with regards to those videos. I guess the downside to that is that I would have to go back and rewatch all those videos, which would make it a little more of a time-consuming endeavor. But ultimately, I think it would be for the best, as the video itself would be a more accurate depiction and a more well-realized depiction of how I feel about the videos. Because I think, even thinking back on like the Talk No Jutsu video, which I will talk about in whatever the third Let's Talk About Me is going to be titled. But I know a specific point I'll be bringing up in that one was my whole analysis of the Kakuzu section, the stuff with Hidan and Kakuzu, which even then, like in my newer video, I still had new points brought to my attention about that arc that have recontextualized my opinion of it. So that'll be a very specific thing I'll be bringing up in the next Let's Talk About Me, which I usually do in July, so that'll be coming up later. But even then, I could go further. I could talk about specific edits I liked or how I integrated the soundtrack, because like before, I would say that kind of like generally, like maybe I would remember one edit that I thought was kind of cool. Another thing is, like in my Mahojin Guru Guru review at the end of 2017, there is a particular edit that I noticed when I went back to rewatch it, where I did like I used the subtitles for a clip that I used, but because of like how the anime zoomed in, or like it started as like this really like zoomed out image, and then it zooms into it, and as it zooms in, the character gets like distorted and blurrier. And so like with the subtitle, I had it like I zoomed out and put it by like where the character was, so that when it zoomed into the character, I like digitized the text and made it look blurrier to match the visuals. And I thought that was so cool. But I didn't mention that in Let's Talk About Me. I didn't mention, or that would have been Let's Talk About Me again, but I didn't mention that. And I just thought that'd be a cool thing to like compile all that sort of, all those things, like, any clever edits that I've done in the past, because then, if I ever just want like a shorthand for what I think about this video, I can just go back to the little review thing and say like, oh, hey, that was a clever edit I did. But yeah, as it stands now, they don't really do that. There's more. I think I could stand to improve those analyses of analysis. So it's not even necessarily that I want to better compile all my flaws in one place, but I also want to showcase some of the good stuff that I've done. Generally speaking, the last two Let's Talk About Me's have been fairly negative overall, because like I had said in the last Let's Talk About Me, the Talk No Jutsu video really was a paradigm shift in my content, and that statement has carried true up until now. And I'll talk more about why when I make the next one. But yeah, I just think those videos could stand to be better made. I could do a better job with that. I don't know if I want to redo them again. Like, I always post them on the main channel because I think it's a good little, like, it's become like a good yearly capstone, or a roundup, or whatever I should call it, because I did the State of the Channels video on this channel, but that was something I used to do for the wrestling channel. It was kind of like a yearly roundup, like, okay, we can see how things have progressed, how things have changed in the year since. And Let's Talk About Me has kind of become that for the anime channel, so I want to keep doing that as a yearly thing on the main channel, just so that that's there. But I don't know if I would want to double dip on the same idea, because then I would be not only rehashing content, but I'd be rehashing rehashed content. And I don't know at what point that's gonna get old, at what point people are gonna get sick of that. So I don't know. Maybe I could do it as like a side channel thing, because realistically, I don't expect my regular viewers to go back to all the videos and view my pinned comments individually to understand where things are. And I mean, I do still want to go back and do those individual comments, because there will be new people who find my older videos, and I want to make sure that they are, if assuming they even read the comments, which they might not, but I'd like to at least make the attempt to better inform them. So like if somebody sees my very first Naruto video and is like, oh wow, this person's kind of trash because they gave Naruto an unfair shake here, and doesn't check out any of my other stuff, I'd like to at least kind of give them a potential signal that like, hey, here's what I actually think. And check that out. So I do want to have those around, but I also like doing the roundups just so I can just compile it all in one place. The pinned comments are more for like the casual viewers who will just stumble across individual videos and might not know me that well. And then like the roundups are more for like the hardcore viewers, because I mean, like, even as someone who follows a lot of AniTube and is familiar with a lot of the back catalogs of some of these creators, I don't go back regularly and like recheck those comment sections to see if they've made any addendums or whatever. Occasionally I do if I'm in the mood to rewatch some AniTube, but it's not like a regular thing that I do, so I wouldn't expect anyone to do that for my content. I think that just about wraps up anything I wanted to say with this thought. Ironically, I didn't rewatch any of the Let's Talk About Me videos to talk about this, which is what I'm saying that, you know, if I'm going to make another Let's Talk About Me, I should watch the videos I'm talking about. I'm not doing that here, so I'm a hypocrite in this case. I think I'll be fine. Hopefully I don't need to make a Let's Talk About Me. I don't even know if I've said that right. This is too much. Review this video and add another Let's Talk About to the front of the title. I fucking dare you.